I understand that you're a franchise player on Raw, and I respect that. Just like I'd hope you'd respect ECW's extremists. But since you obviously don't, I'm going to arrange for some respect to be beaten into you by one of our hardcore, chair-swinging, back-breaking maniacs.
Vengeance has come and gone, and the road to SummerSlam begins tonight. This is Oklahoma's own Jim Ross here with the King of Memphis, Jerry Lawler. And tonight, Raw takes on ECW.
I can't believe our general manager would allow extremely crappy wrestling to appear on Raw.
And from what we've read, our Raw representative might agree with your assessment of ECW.
How could he not? ECW's second rate, and Raw's going to prove it tonight.
You're looking at one of the most dangerous men in sports entertainment.
Yeah, none of those ECW superstars have any respect for their opponents, or themselves for that matter. Stop the match just because of a little blood.
Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the best. And now a pin.
One,
this could be it.
2, 3.
Oh man, it looks like he may have come off the worst for wear here.
I hope that leg isn't seriously injured.
We won't know until he gets it checked out, but I sincerely hope not.
And if it is, we've got ECW to blame for injuring one of our guys.
All the more reason for Raw to have nothing to do with them from now on.
What are you talking about? This looks like the opening shot in a war to me.
I've got to say, I'm not too pleased that you're inviting ECW to come to Raw. The last thing I want is a bunch of filthy extremists running wild on my show. I'm holding you personally responsible if something goes wrong.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw, everybody. We're entering week 2 of the Raw ECW rivalry. Boomer Sooner, everybody. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler at ringside, and it sounds like our champion wants another piece of ECW.
Well, after the way he limped away from last week's match, his pride is on the line.
he narrowly avoided serious injury last week. I hope his luck holds.
It's a risk, but he's our champion, and he's got to stand up for Raw.
He's taken exception to our champion's comments about ECW, and he's determined to beat some respect into him tonight.
There's nothing wrong with running your mouth, as long as you can back it up, JR.
He damn near broke his opponent in half along with the table. He might be heading back to ECW with a concussion.
Serves him right, trying to embarrass Raw's champion like that.
Well, I hate to see an injury happen to any superstar, or extreme for that.
Well, now there's no question that Raw can get extreme with the best of them.
That's for sure. That was a slobber knocker of a match, and I'm just glad our champion seems to have escaped injury.
That should convince ECW to stay off of Raw from now on.
Finally, this ECW nonsense is behind us, and we can get down to business. Namely, putting together Raw's matches for SummerSlam. You're definitely in the mix, but I've got my eye on a few other superstars, too. I'll keep you posted.
The beating you're going to get on Raw this week is just a taste of what you can expect from everyone you face at SummerSlam. If I were you, I wouldn't even show up.
Welcome to Raw, everybody. We're less than 2 months from SummerSlam. Hello again, everybody. I'm good old JR, Jim Ross, alongside the Hall of Famer, Jerry the King Lawler at ringside. And tonight, the champion faces his potential challenger.
And that's going to be a great match. But I'm just glad we're over that ECW nonsense.
One can only hope so, Kingfish. The challenger should be focused on his title match.
Absolutely. The champ's no pushover, and you'll see that tonight.
If he has a good showing here tonight, he might well earn himself the chance to be named #1 contender at SummerSlam.
And what better place to make your mark than at one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year?
What the hell is this?
That ECW piece of trash is back, and he's assaulting the champ.
This is downright unforgivable. He's got no reason in the world to be out here.
Look out! There's another one. This is awful, JR.
For the love of God and everything that's good, somebody get out here and stop this.
I don't know, JR. I think the damage might have been done. I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all.
2, 3.
Oh, gosh, he's in a bad way. He's going to need some medical help.
What was he thinking? Trying to compete after that ECW ambush.
He's a proud man, Jerry, and I'm afraid his pride got the better of him.
You've got to pick your battle, especially if you want to be the #1 contender.
I just hope his injuries are less severe than they appear to be.
Yeah, if he's hurt badly, he might have to forget about SummerSlam this year.
Word in the locker room is that you're not even seriously injured. So you've got no reason not to work with me to get rid of ECW. I'd rather fight against you than with you, but it's obvious that's not going to happen until we take out the trash. I wouldn't get too comfortable with this whole partner thing if I were you. After I carry you through the match and we send ECW home in the back of an ambulance, I'm coming after you next.
We are just 6 weeks away from SummerSlam. Hi, everybody. I'm your barbecue-loving friend, good old JR Jim Ross, here with Jerry the King Lawler. And tonight, hopefully, Raw will solve its ECW problem once and for all.
I hope so. ECW's not even in Raw's league, and all the cheap shots in the world won't change that.
No, but that could do some serious damage to our superstars.
That's why he's got backup. There's no way ECW's leaving here in one piece.
There's more than just a cross-brand rivalry at stake here tonight, folks. The Raw team is composed of two superstars, each of whom believes that he should be the #1 contender.
They've got all the way until SummerSlam to go after each other, JR. Tonight is all about getting rid of ECW.
That went nowhere. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on.
Oh my God, a thunderous blow from that sledgehammer.
Man, talk about getting hammered. Masterpiece. Like we were looking at a sculpture in a museum or something.
If you want to zip your lips for a few minutes, King, I won't complain. But don't
He's bringing the hammer down, JR.
He sure is, and the longer he holds that sledgehammer, the uglier it's going to get. What a reversal. If I live to be 100, I'll never understand why they leave so many damn weapons under the ring. It's almost like they want the superstars to use them on each other. And what a slobber knocker of a shot with that sledgehammer.
That'll rearrange your facial features for sure, JR. After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher.
Oh, man! Did you hear that chair shot, JR?
I'd be surprised if there was a single person in this arena who didn't, King. What a vicious chair shot!
That chair was never meant to be used like that, JR.
A reversal. Can he capitalize on it?
Oh, no! I don't like the looks of this.
He's got the fans behind him, King, and his opponent had better watch out.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human...
Good grief! I don't care how tough you are. A chair shot. If you root around under the ring long enough, you're bound to find a weapon of some sort or another. I hope he's not looking for a weapon. That could do some serious damage.
I think he's looking for a weapon, JR. That's a smart move.
You're not going to get him with that one. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. He sure is putting that thing to good use, JR.
I don't know if I'd call it good use, King, but it's definitely an advantage.
There's all sorts of crazy stuff under the ring, and all of it can inflict a lot of damage on an opponent. Sabu and all those other ECW superstars
And now a pin. This could be it. I think this crowd has decided to exercise the right of free speech.
God bless the first...
Whether you're a Raw fan, ECW fan, or a ceiling fan, you gotta admit, folks, that was a slobber knocker.
And hopefully, that's the last we'll see of ECW on Raw.
I hope so, King. I'm not sure how many more times Raw and ECW could clash without somebody getting seriously injured.
They sure don't do anything halfway, do they?
No, they don't. And now these Raw superstars can turn their attention to SummerSlam.
The next time they're in the ring together, I don't